Welcome back to DNA Reviews, people. I'm so happy to be back. You know,
right.
like in front of the camera, in front of the mic. Today we are talking about Lightyear. It did come out last week. We're also going to be doing an early review of The Black Phone, which comes out this Friday, the 24th. We'll be doing, Miss Marvel, Obi-Wan, The Boys, and some other movie news.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Stay tuned.
So a little early this week. We're gonna have another showing again on Saturday. So this past weekend was Father's Day, so we kind of took a day off of that to get dear old dad a little time.
Yes.
But we're back in full force, guys, ready to go, and looking forward to it.
Yes. Okay, so let's just get this started. Let's get our presentation going. We're gonna start with Lightyear. I personally really liked the movie. What did you think about it?
I loved it. It was a great movie. We're hearing all kind of things about it, but from my perspective, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I felt like I was watching Buzz Lightyear in, how he would act if he wasn't the toy, if he was a real person. It was fun, lots of laughs on it. I enjoyed it for its own movie, for what it was as its own. I fully enjoyed watching Buzz Lightyear.
Let me give you the description, because I should have given you the description first. But
Okay.
Let me give you the description of the movie before I get into my review and my disappointment in Pixar fans. Okay, Buzz Lightyear embarks on an intergalactic adventure with a group of ambitious recruits and his robot companion. Okay, this movie was so good. This movie was so good and exactly what I needed it to be because Chris Evans' performance of Buzz Lightyear perfectly fit Tim Allen's. It wasn't like let me do the same thing as Tim Allen.
Right.
But it's just like it's based off of his character, right? Okay, now let's get into Pixar fans. Why is this the lowest rated Pixar movie of all time?
Well, I think a lot of people went into it, which I don't know why they went into it like this, with feelings of Buzz Lightyear as a Toy Story, right? So they were expecting this silly person to be there. But the silliness of Toy Story Buzz is because he thinks he's a real person.
Right.
Or a real superhero or space ranger. So, of course, Buzz was ridiculous. Now, by the time we got to Toy Story 2 and 3, Buzz knew what he was.
Chilled
and he
out.
was different. He was... he was almost like, I know who I am. And when he ran into another Buzz Lightyear, he was like, oh my gosh.
He's like, what is this? Right.
Okay, but this was based on what Andy was receiving as a toy. So this Buzz Lightyear has to be brilliant. That's why he did the calculations in the glass, was able to redirect the trajectory in the first test and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, it's a different
Buzz.
movie.
Yeah.
But it's based on a movie. It's not supposed to be Toy Story. And if you go in there thinking, oh, this is a Toy Story story, which from the trailers, I don't know why you would have gotten that.
Yeah, I never got that
From
feel.
the trailers, he was in space. The toy didn't go to space. It was Buzz. So I don't understand what people were expecting. I don't know if they were expecting him to be an idiot, but he was. How could you be an idiot and be a space ranger and fly in a rocket ship?
Right.
So,
Right. So the thing is, that's what I'm saying. Tim Allen's Buzz is based off of Chris Evans' Buzz. That's what it's supposed to be. But people are like thinking it's opposite. I'm like, I know what came first, but it's supposed to be a human being. Like, they're not going to be like, oh, I'm a toy. Like, I don't even, like, what did you expect?
His acting's going to be different, obviously.
Right.
That's why they didn't choose Tim Allen to come back to do it. They could have got Tim Allen, but then it wouldn't make sense, right? Because then, he would be talking a certain way. So they got a voice that was close enough, voice-wise.
Right.
And it's made sense because in real life, that's what happens, right? You create a movie, Marvel movie, and then they put the voices in the toys. Well, they don't have the actors put the voice in the toys. They get a voice person to redo it, right?
Right.
So it was in line with what would really happen.
And the story itself, I loved it. Okay, so they get stuck on a planet, and now he has to figure out a way to get off the planet. He meets like these great characters that are really funny. His robot companion is hilarious. The cat. I thought I was gonna be annoyed because when I see things like that, like a cat or like a little companion, it's always for toys.
Yeah.
And so I already get annoyed by those things. But it was well done.
It was well done. It was this without going spoilers, the cat was
It was funny.
Was funny, and it was a good part of the movie. And moved the movie along. And actually, the cat had served a purpose.
Yeah.
It wasn't
yeah.
just there to be like, oh, here's
Here's a cat.
here's a toy you can sell to kids,
Right.
like Grogu. Here's a toy.
No, Grogu's a part of the story. And
they put Grogu in for toys.
I think of the cat from Captain Marvel. I'm like, what is this cat?
From Captain Marvel.
Exactly. The cat that scratched.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna get into the cat because. Okay, go.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So you it wasn't just like, hey, let's put this thing in, and then we can have these toys, right? It was actually a good prop that worked with the movie. The cat was instrumental to the movement of the movie.
Yeah, so that's why I liked the cat, and I liked the other people in it. Keke Palmer did well. I liked her character.
Keke was good.
It fit the story. I don't know why people are like, oh, Cars 2 is better than this. Oh, The Good Dinosaur is better than this movie. Those movies, you can't even remember what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Have you
Cars
seen the
2, I can't remember.
Cars 2, trash. It didn't even fit the storyline. Cars 1 and Cars 3 fit the universe, but then Cars 2 is just out of nowhere. It doesn't.
All right, calm down.
The Good Dinosaur just made no sense. So,
I don't even know what The Good Dinosaur is.
Exactly,
I didn't see that one.
Dad. I'm okay. Because I really like this movie. Okay, now let's get into some reviews. Let's see what the reviews are on this.
Okay.
Critics give it a 76. Audience give it a 85. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
but I've
good.
seen on IMDb that it was like a 5.2 out of 10. I was like, wow.
I wouldn't trust IMDb. This is more
accurate.
This is more accurate because Rotten Tomatoes actually uses people who've seen the movie. They verify them.
Oh,
anybody can go on IMDb and put in a
Well, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, this tracks. This makes sense.
This tracks. You can't expect 100% for every movie. And there's people out there had a different thought process of the movie, and it would probably disappointing what their thoughts of it would be. So yeah, 85% audience is pretty strong. Even the 76 critics is strong.
It's strong. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll rein it back in because I really like this movie. I was telling you when I left theater, I was like, I'm a space ranger. Yeah. I understand why Andy bought the toy because I was like, wow, like I want to be a space ranger. Let me go to space.
From a kid's perspective, and that's what other people got to realize too. This is a kid movie. From a kid's perspective, I could see why they would love this movie.
This movie was like mind blowing. If I was like 7, 8, I would have been like, I'm so shook right now. The lights and like the sound.
Yeah, I can see why people would love the movie. It's a great movie, and I thought it was good. I had a good time. You heard me laughing the whole time.
Exactly. You were laughing. It was a good time.
It was good.
Okay, let's get into some reviews because I would like to see what people have said. Some rotten reviews.
Yeah, let's say the rotten.
Okay, so from the critics, rather than play like a significant departure from the Toy Story films they spawned it, Lightyear instead emerges as a disappointing runner-up, capturing but a fraction of the comedy, thrills, and poignancy of its predecessors. Alonso Duralde.
Yeah, again, this movie doesn't have any predecessors.
Right.
This movie is a standalone movie based on a character. The other movies of Toy Story stood in their own. They're their own thing. 1 through 4, they're their own thing. We saw the progression of the toys from 1 to 4. We saw the progression of Andy from 1 to 4. He went off to college in part 4. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Toy Story 4 by now.
Right.
Or 3, whatever.
Yeah.
So we see the progression of the toys on Andy. That's their own universe. This is the universe of Andy. This is when Andy was in 1995 who saw a movie. Right.
That's literally how it starts out. That's literally what it says.
This is literally how it starts. So this is actually pre-Toy Story 1. It's a prequel, if you will.
Right.
So yeah, this has to be standalone. There's no tie to the other stories. If you went in there with nostalgia, I'm sorry.
I went in there in a different kind of nostalgia. I didn't even like try to be like, oh, okay, here we go. I'm getting Toy Story 5. I never even put that in my head. I knew it was something different.
They didn't portray it that way.
Yeah.
Even in the teaser trailer, they didn't portray it that way.
They didn't even try to be like, oh, here's the other toys. No, it's like, no, this is this whole other dude.
Whole other universe.
Why are people trying to compare this movie to Toy Story? I'm like, and for them to be like, this movie is better than Toy Story 4, you're wrong. Like, you're wrong. I mean, sorry. Worse than Toy Story 4. Sorry. Toy Story 4 is trash, Dad. Do you not remember?
I can't remember Toy Story 4.
Exactly. Toy Story 4 is trash. This movie is better. Okay, let's go to the audience review. There's no audience reviews because there's not enough ratings yet. At the time we didn't have enough ratings.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move on to the next one. Okay, so we're gonna do fresh reviews for critics. Lightyear does everything a Buzz Lightyear film needs to do. The visuals are excellent, the core characters are likable, and Evans is a great choice. There are more than a few moments that will have fans cheering, and Socks the cat steals the show. I agree.
I agree. Socks the cat steals the show. I love everything about this movie. I love, without going to spoilers, I love how they set up the, how it moved through the movie from the beginning to, the time changing without going into details. I love how they did that over so many years. And it was good. It was a good plot. It wasn't just dumb fun. They could have made it just stupid and just, you could have gone in and had Buzz out there shooting up places and being a silly fool and making a bunch of mistakes. And oh my God, that's Buzz. I like the fact that the character of Buzz, how serious he was and how determined he was, translates to the toy because Buzz in the toy is serious. Like he believes what he believes, right? Yeah. So this character is the same way. I'm going to get this done by all costs. Yeah. So it really translated that way because in a toy, it's going to be silly, but here it's happening. It's going to be more serious, but it ties together. Yeah. I also like how they introduce things that we know about in Toy Story here slowly. Like when you're watching this movie, I was like, well, where's this thing? Where's that thing? Right? Yeah. But then they introduced it. Yeah. And how they introduced it, it was a utility. It needed to be there. Right. It was something you're supposed to use, not just,
here's something.
Just throw this thing on his arm or just throw this thing on his back. And that's, this made sense for the scene that it was in. So yeah, man, it was good.
I thought it was well done. And I watching Toy Story 1 right afterwards, it enhanced the movie.
It enhanced the movie for you?
Yeah.
You're serious. You went to watch Toy Story 1.
It's not a game. This was really good. I really like this movie. There's no audience reviews. So before we get there, so what is your rating on this movie?
I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, no, let me not lie. I will give it an 8.5. I want to go higher than you because I really like this movie.
Yeah, I give it an 8. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. I'd watch it again in about a year. I can't watch it again right now.
Oh, I'm at the point where I could watch it again in theaters.
Yeah. So you do that kind of stuff. This movie is an 8 for me. I liked it. It was a good movie, well written, well directed, good editing. Graphics were great. It was all around good movie, man. Yeah. I didn't even do the come on, man.
I know. Like, come on, what is this
Come
logic?
on. There was nothing that pulled me out of the movie. Things always pull me out of a movie.
Right.
It was good.
All right. Well, that's our review on Lightyear. Make sure before we get onto our black phone, make sure to like and start just since you're here, like subscribe or something. Subscribe. And now we're going to get into the black phone.
All right. Before we move on to the black phone, let's do a little trivia. So for those of you watching, if you can tell us what scene and what of the Toy Story movies our shirt is from, we'll give you a shout out, guys. We'll give you a big old shout out on the next episode. So if you can tell us what scene and what movie this is from, you're a true Toy Story fan. All right.
Yes. Okay. So the black phone, we saw this movie last week, like around Thursday. For some reason, it was like one of the AMC theaters was having an early review.
Right.
It wasn't like extra money or anything like that. They were just having like an early screening. So we were like, okay, let's go so we can give y'all our review, non-spoiler, of course. And let's see. So this movie is Finney Shaw is a shy but clever 13-year-old boy who's being held in a soundproof basement by a sadistic masked killer. When a disconnected phone on the wall starts to ring, he soon discovers that he can hear the voices of the murdered previous victims, and they are dead set on making sure that what happens to them doesn't happen to Finney. So what did you think of this movie?
I love this movie. This movie was awesome. This movie took me back to Nightmare on Elm Street, which way before your time. But there's a certain type of scary movie that just resonates. You have slasher movies where people are just cutting people up like Jason, and that doesn't even scare me. That's just ooh, whatever. This movie was suspenseful, and from that very first scene, which we won't talk about, that gets you.
that gets
Oh,
you.
it's
Like,
on and popping from that
yeah.
point. I don't usually get got in movies, and I got.
I got.
So it was a great movie. It was a great premise for a movie. I enjoyed it because it was entertaining and it was scary. And that's all you ask for, a scary movie, man. Just be scary and make a little sense, but be scary. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's what this movie did. So it brought it.
Okay. So I like this movie as well. I thought it was a really great story, but it was scarier than I thought it was gonna be from the trailers because I was thinking it was like a Get Out kind of thing, like Get Out. But also, it's like it's still a horror movie.
Yeah.
And what I do like about this movie, comparing it to other horror movies, is that it has a good story first, and then it scares you.
Yeah.
Because when I think of like other movies, it's like, okay, how are we gonna scare our audience? And it's like, can you give us a good story that we could, so that I feel like I can rewatch this?
Right.
And so with the Black Phone, I feel like I can rewatch it because I'm like, I want to see how this, I want to see the premise unfold again.
Right.
And the jump scares weren't like every other second. It felt like okay,
the tension.
not you, me. I felt tense, bro.
You were scared, man.
I haven't been like
Leia
that.
was so scared in this movie. She was leaning over and putting her head on my shoulder like, Dad.
The anxiety that built up because I was like, when's the next jump scare? I was just, it's been a while since I've seen a scary movie too. So I was like,
this was scary.
Yeah.
Movie. This is a good scary movie. This was old school, well-written scary movie. But it's Blumhouse, man. Blumhouse, they know how to produce a good movie, especially scary movie. This definitely was one.
And Ethan Hawke is the villain, and I enjoyed him as the villain.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He's done villain characters before, but like not like this. Like
This is a little stretch. This is more than he's usually done. This is really like a sick character. Sick.
Yeah.
You know what I liked about this movie too, man, is they made it realistic. I love that everybody was a human being. There wasn't a whole bunch of you can't kill this person. Those movies are okay, but it kind of gets like, well, there's no stakes, right? How are you going to win? Oh, you got to do some ritual or read some book or find some artifact. No, this was just human beings.
I think that's what made it the scariest for me because I was like, this could have happened. This could real. Happen. Like this could happen.
Right.
Except for like the phone stuff, whatever.
Right.
But like, I was like, this could happen.
Right. There's no supernatural, evil thing that's happening, right? Yeah, it's just a person that could be doing this,
right?
There's some supernatural stuff going on, but to me that was more of the side stuff with the protagonist in the story, not necessarily the antagonist, which was Ethan Hawke. And man, it was good. It was. I highly recommend you guys go watch this.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely would see this again. So this is the ratings as of now because the movie doesn't come out until this Friday.
Right.
90% critics. I agree with that. That stands.
Yeah.
So here are some reviews just from the critics. Deliberately paced and restrained with its infrequent yet perfectly placed scares. The Black Phone is primarily a character piece, and Derrickson has assembled an impressive ensemble of child performers.
Yeah, I did.
I definitely agree.
I agree with that.
Finney's sister.
Yeah,
I liked her in that.
The whole cast was good. The whole cast was good with the acting. The guy who was the main character, a 13-year-old who got kidnapped in the end, which, by the way, anyway, how he got kidnapped just killed me. But anyway,
Dad, he's a kid.
Yeah, whatever, I guess. But other than that, I mean, it was great. All the actors did a good job. The sister was, spectacular.
Yeah, she was good.
She did a great job acting in this movie. It was well written. I agreed. The fact that they're talking about the scares, it wasn't just a scare for a scare. Everything that happened that was a scare was called for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there are no rotten reviews for this movie yet.
Wow. It's crazy. Yet.
Okay, we'll see. There'll probably be others that will show up. So what is your rating for this?
I give it a 7 out of 10. 7. I give it an 8. I give it an 8.
A 7.
I give it an 8. I give it an 8. I give it an 8. I'll come up.
I'll definitely rewatch this. Like when my rating at 8 is comparing it to other horror films, which is not really comparing to much because all of them are pretty much trash.
Yeah, I just do it. I do ratings on its own merit. For me, this is an 8. Yeah, an 8.
Okay. All right. So now let's go on to The Boys. The Boys.
Check your sound. Getting reports that your sound is out.
Sounds out. Sounds out. Sounds out. Sounds back in. Sounds back in. Okay.
Is it back? Are you seeing yourself?
Yeah, I'm seeing my waves again. Okay, thank you, producer. Thank you, producer. Everyone,
Okay.
put in the chat, like in the chat for mom.
All right. Okay. It's back. Now she said it's gone again. That was 4:53. She said it's gone again. Is it back again? Is it back?
It's back.
It's back. You can see everything?
Everything should be back now.
Okay. All right. It's good. It's good. We're saying it's good.
Okay, so back with the boys, watching the episode 5.
Yeah, let's talk about episode 5.
So let's.
This is spoiler too, because what was your review? Didn't hear. What was your review for? What was your score for rating for
The Black Phone? My rating was an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Because I'm comparing it to horror films.
Okay. Yeah, mine was the same, 8 out of 10. All right, on to the boys.
The boys. So, as we know, superheroes are often as popular as celebrities, as influencers, as politicians, and sometimes even veered as gods. But that's when they're using their powers for good. What happens when heroes go rogue and start abusing their powers? When it's the powerless against the super powerful, the boys head. Oh, you can't see this. Sorry. Hold on. The boys head out on a heroic quest to expose the truth about Seven and Vought, the multi-billion-dollar conglomerate that manages the superheroes and covers up their dirty secrets, based on the comic book series of the same name. So before we get into the review of episode 5, I think it's so funny how people that have read, I love how this usually doesn't happen. People that have read the comics of the boys, they hate the comics. They're like, it's poorly written. It's just gore galore.
Yeah.
It's just not even it's not even cohesive. And so when people talk about, when I first heard about Amazon adapting this into a show, they were like, this is going to be trash. Because they're like, they were like, no. But then the show ended up being amazing. So that usually doesn't happen. You know, the book is better than the movie.
I never even knew this was a comic before, till 3 years ago. I didn't know
it was a comic 15 years ago. Yeah. And people were like, it was just overly homophobic, overly racist. Like it wasn't even making a statement like it did with episode 5. So let's get into episode 5. I thought it was well done. I mean, what else do I say? It was well done. It was good.
Well, this is spoilers too, because the show came out last week, Wednesday. So if you haven't seen it by now, you're not trying to watch it. So we can talk about spoilers. Listen, it was great. It was a great episode as usual. I'm dying to see with episode 6 because with Soldier Boy now working with Butcher, what's the plan here? And does Soldier Boy's powers take away your powers? Because when he did to what's her name? Was it Yumiko is her name?
Yeah.
When he hits her, she lost her powers. She's not dead, right?
Yeah. So in episode 4, at the very end, he hits her with, or was it the beginning of episode 5? I don't remember. He hits her with some type of superpower that he has. He's insane, and he takes away Yumiko's powers, and she's really happy about it, which I'm surprised by.
Well, no, she hates being.
Because she's not like everyone else or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
she hates this thing. She hates it. She doesn't like it. She even told the kid she was talking to that one time that she hates her powers. She was talking to Homelander's son.
Oh.
And she told him, "I hate my powers and I wish they were gone." So yeah, that's why she's happy.
Yeah. And then so my favorite part of this episode was when Homelander, Huey, and Mother's Milk go to like this woman that used to know Soldier Boy, and they use her as bait. Yeah. Oh my gosh, they use her as bait. That whole scene was really good because, oh my gosh, when Starlight showed up, I was like, oh no, because of Huey.
Because of Huey, yeah.
And I like that scene where they talked about it, and she was like, I don't want to lose you. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the scene from Amazing Spider-Man 2 when Gwen was like, I love Spider-Man, but I love Peter Parker more. Okay? That was the exact quote because, Spider-Man fan over here. Anyway, but that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, it was good. I didn't, to be honest with you, at that moment, I knew Hugh was going to go. But there was a moment there I was like, is he going to go? Because he was thinking about it. But Huey has already said, because look, Huey was trying at the beginning of the season, 1, 2, and 3. Huey was trying to do it the right way. Okay, he was trying to use the government way to do it. He created this thing with the one girl where they had this agency that was overseeing superheroes, have given them consequences and stuff like that. He wanted to do it the right way.
Right.
When he found out the girl was, kind of in cahoots with Vought, well, he's done. He's like, look, there's no other way to do it. Butcher's right.
Yeah.
He's now cynical. There's no good way to do this other than to do it whatever it takes, because he doesn't want
Homelander to kill everybody.
And look, Homelander is so crazy, right? Like, if he loses, the only way to stop Homelander is to kill him. You can't embarrass him or try to arrest him.
There's no talking to him about it.
Right. He'll kill everybody.
So that's last scene, that ending scene where she was like, Huey, don't go. I wanted it to be like, what's the other plan? What else? What is there else to do?
Yeah.
Because it's only the only other thing to do is kill this guy, and all we have left is Soldier Boy. So what is your plan, Starlight?
Yeah,
go.
I don't know what the plan is.
Like,
there's nothing else you can
I'm going
do.
with Huey.
Yeah, I mean, if Huey didn't go and didn't, Butcher, as crazy as he is, I'm actually on Butcher's side on this.
Me too.
I don't know why Mother's Milk is tripping. Like, he's like, we're not supposed to.
Because he's traumatized by Soldier Boy. He killed his family.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So why is he like, well, I don't want to take the V-24 because we're supposed to be better than that. Are we?
Yes, a little bit.
If you're supposed to be better than that, why are you trying to kill somebody? Why are you trying to kill him?
I don't know, dude.
Okay, exactly. So if you're trying to kill him, you got to do everything you take to kill him.
Because he's crazy. Like, usually I'm able to see like both sides. Like, oh, well, let's not kill him because we could do this. I cannot see another way to get this guy.
There's nothing you could do against Homelander.
He's crazy.
He's all powerful and he's crazy. Two of the things you don't want to have together.
Yeah.
When the girl, when the one lady in the boardroom, and you know what's so funny about it? I'll tell you a joke. What I was thinking too, when he took over Vought, right, with the girl as CEO, when he took it over, one of my first thoughts, and I don't know, this is just nerding me. My first thoughts is, how's he going to be doing with accounting? right? So then the scene came up, and the lady asked him about EBITDA, which is earnings before interest taxes, right? That's what it means. Earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, right? That's what it stands for. And he was like, he looked at her like, are you mocking me?
You know better than me? I'm like, I'm just really trying to help you.
She didn't mean anything by it. She was seriously asking a question. Hey, this is going to affect our money a little bit, but we can recover. She was being business. And because he didn't know
what it was.
He did the Kevin Hart. I don't know what you're talking about, so I'm going to take it as an insult.
right. Figure out. She was like, okay, I'm sorry.
So,
that reminds me of is she the CEO, the redhead?
Yeah, she's the CEO.
So that reminds me of the CEO scene. What I've been telling you, with Starlight's about to get bopped. I don't care that I'm not a soup. I don't care if I'm a soup, not soup, whatever. I would punch Starlight in the face.
I know.
Every time she wants to talk about Homelander, went in this building.
In the building.
And you risking my life.
She tired, and you can tell the girl who's the CEO now, I forget her name.
It is innocent soul.
She,
that's funny.
Yeah. You could tell that she doesn't want to do this, but she understands without even thinking about it, Homelander could just kill me. She knows it. She's cleaned up his messes for years.
Right.
So for a moment, she got weak and she was like, I can't do anything about it. But then as she was trying to think about it, she was like, you know what? What am I doing?
What am I doing?
He always figures it
He'll
out.
figure it out. And like superhearing. Like that's what's scary.
So the fact that he always figures it out, you go figure it out. I'm done. Get out of my office. Next time, make an appointment.
Make an appointment. I'm CEO.
In fact, if I was her, I'd be calling Homelander right now.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? At this point, I would call Homelander because like you're risking my life. Let me be an A train.
Why are you pulling me into your superhero nonsense? Homelander, she trying to kill you.
She's trying to kill you. Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, man.
And so what am I trying to say? Now, like, let's just talk about A-Train scenes. He's having like a B story.
His brother,
he's
man.
trying to be a good guy now.
Really?
Or something like that.
Whatever. He's just, I don't know what he's trying to do.
Yeah, and that scene was sad.
That scene was crazy. You bring, first of all, you show up with the dude. You didn't tell your brother I forget the name of the guy. You didn't tell your brother, you didn't tell him your brother you were coming. and then you try to come in with $10,000. Yeah, and his apology was just ridiculous.
He's like, I'm sorry for blah,
yeah,
blah,
I'm sorry, I roughed some of y'all up, but some of y'all deserve it. That's pretty much what it was,
blah.
right?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Now his brother's paralyzed, can't walk.
I wonder what A-Train's going to do because we have yet to see him run because he can't run.
He can't run because of his heart.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen here, this is my prediction. A-Train's going to do something with his, because I don't think A-Train leaves this season. I think he's done this season.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because he's useless.
Yeah, he is.
What's the point of A-Train? He can't run. He's not doing anything. So I think my prediction is in some episode coming up, I don't know if it's where we're in 5 now, maybe like 7 or 8. He's gonna do something with that guy who put his brother in the in the hospital.
Yeah.
But using his speed, and then he's gonna have a heart attack or something and die.
die.
Something to that effect.
I didn't know that was his brother. I thought it was his friend. I don't remember it being his friend.
Man.
That's
his brother.
crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I know he's dying. For sure. No, that superhero guy is gonna die, and A-Train's gonna like risk his heart to like run through him or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So something like that's gonna happen. He's gonna do something to him. I mean, he's fast and he's powerful. So yeah. So I don't think A-Train leaves this season. He's gonna be gone. I don't think I don't say a lot, but I think several people are not gonna make it out of this season.
I don't know because I wonder what they're gonna do with the AOC character. I don't know her real name. I call her AOC because she looks like AOC.
She's not making it out of this season.
I wonder what they're gonna do with her.
Yeah,
though.
she did. She's not making it out of this season either. Yeah, because she's a secondary character, so she's not gonna make it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into some critics' reviews. As we know, this show is highly rated.
Yeah.
Here's some more positive reviews from the critics. Its bleak viewing experience might appeal to some audiences, but it's likely to leave more than it. Sorry, this is rotten reviews. Sorry.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Fresh. Okay. Its bleak viewing experience might appeal to some audiences, but it's likely to leave more than a few viewers wishing the entire cast of characters would just be put out of their misery. Oh my God, that's not nice.
That's a minority, though. That's a minority.
No, because his show is good.
Yeah,
okay, let's give an audience rotten one.
Yeah.
The show was all right the first couple of episodes. The show was all right the first couple of seasons. The show is just gross now. Seems like they're going so hard for the shock factor. They forgot to make everything actually interesting. It's just gross and the story sucks. See, the story does not suck because we're getting so much like
it's a good story. The shock stuff that happens with it to me is just funny. It's just funny stuff.
That's on the, like you said before, it's on the side.
It's on the side. The story's good because if you look at the big theme of what this is, how do you stop the most powerful being in the world? What do you do to stop the most powerful being? How can you do it? So this is like a good writing because this is something that if it was true, how would you do that, right? How do you stop Superman? If Superman goes bad, except for Batman, of course. Batman is the only one.
Stop with this. Batman cannot do it. Prep time. If he came from the sky right now, if I'm Batman, he came, boom, Superman, I'm dead.
Batman can stop him. Batman knows everybody's weaknesses. Just like, what's his name? What's the name of the character? Black Noir? Black Noir could stop Homelander.
I think so too. People are saying that.
Do it. I'm pretty sure he could.
We don't know yet.
But Black Noir is like, I ride or die for Homelander.
For what?
Because look how they took out Maeve. Black Noir grabbed her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He took her out. So, but anyway, back to the
Sorry, that was scary.
back to the thing here.
Yeah.
It's a good story because how do you take out Superman? And that's basically what this is. The power of the laser in your eyes, power of strength, unstoppable, undefeatable, can't be hurt by any known thing.
Yeah.
How do you do that? So it's good to see the journey of them trying to get to do that. This next episode, they made the deal with Soldier Boy. I'm dying to see Soldier Boy square up against
Homelander.
What are you gonna do? Does Soldier Boy make it through the rest of the season or not? Because Soldier Boy has this power now, this nuclear power, which that doesn't really mean anything for Homelander.
What if he immediately dies in episode 6? That would be crazy.
Soldier Boy?
Yeah. If Homelander's like snaps him and be like, "Oh, you really thought?"
I wish. Like if he hurt, I don't know how they're gonna do it. We'll find out tomorrow. Friday. But I don't know how he's gonna do it. But yeah, that's why I'm dying to see this episode because Soldier Boy squared up against Homelander. And is Homelander going to be like,
Yeah. Oh wait, he doesn't have the Force. What I'm saying, grab you. If he had the Force, I'd be done.
Yeah.
I'd be done. Like, all right, come on, man.
So we should see. We will see. So.
Yes. Okay, so let's do some positive reviews here. So that's Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy.
It's crazy. Critics, if this season makes us feel more squeamish, that may be for reasons other than the exploding victims. Perhaps it's because the show has gotten very good at reminding us that our nation's reality is not far from removed from the one it depicts.
Yeah, it's pretty much true.
They do a lot of political things in this.
We saw it. That's there's so much pop culture that related to what's happening in The Boys. We had a pandemic. We couldn't even agree on there was a pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally people dropping dead.
Mm-hmm.
There was no like, well, maybe.
It's like, no, it's like there's evidence. Dude.
People are dropping dead. We couldn't even get on the same page on that. So yeah, this is how people would react if this kind of craziness would happen. This is proven. 5 years ago, I'd be like, no, man, this is crazy. No, this is how we are.
Yeah.
Right? Anything can divide us. We will fall for anything. We're looking for heroes to be in other things. We want someone to save us and to make things the way they were and keep it the way they was. All that kind of good stuff. So yeah, this is in line with what's happening now and what it's true. This is who we are. We're violent, you know?
Yeah. It's sad.
Yep.
And so let's give an audience fresh review. Season 3 is as strong as ever and even more outrageous than ever. But the shocking moments, while certainly graphic, are smartly presented in a way that moves the story forward and while playing into the various characters' motives, perspectives, and quandaries.
Yeah. Yeah. So did on the last statement, it's just good writing. That's it.
So what do you give this episode? What's your rating?
I'll give this episode an 8.
Everything's an 8, Dan.
Well, today it is.
This is 3 8s in a row.
Well,
I give this episode a 9.
It's an 8 day.
It's an 8 day. I give this episode a 9. I like this episode. This is definitely like, I feel like it's rewatchable because of that ending scene. Just all of like them teaming up with Soldier Boy. I love Starlight. I feel like I thought I was gonna get over her, like, oh, she's annoying.
Yeah.
But I love her character still, even in season 3. So yeah. So now we're moving on to Miss Marvel, episode 2. Okay, let me give you the description of episode 2. I mean, let me give you the description of the show. Kamala, I don't think I'm saying that right.
Yeah, it's Kamala.
Okay.
Oh, Kamala.
Is it Kamala?
Kamala, yeah, like Kamala Harris.
Okay. Kamala is a superhero fan with an imagination, particularly when it comes to Captain Marvel. Kamala feels like she doesn't fit at school and sometimes even at home. That is until she gets superpowers like the heroes she looked up to. Okay. We're
in episode 2. So what's your overall so far?
It's been approximately 6 days since I've seen episode 2.
Yeah.
And it's very forgettable. I think I remember it as being like there was montage scenes in there. It was like her learning her superpowers.
Yeah, exactly. It was montage going on. It was the Spider-Man montage from Spider-Man 1, where Peter Parker was running across the roof and learning his powers. It was exactly like that.
Yeah.
This is Peter Park-ish. This whole thing is Spider-Man-ish, right? The way Spider-Man is a teenager and learning himself.
Yeah.
The twist on this, of course, it's a teenage girl. This episode kind of solidified what I thought about the first episode and what I told you this was like a Disney teen show.
Yeah.
And this episode solidified that. This is a Disney teen show. This is not even a young adult show. This is not even YA. This is teenage angst, right? So it's stuff that happens to kids, and she's trying to say, and this will be spoilers because, again, if you haven't seen it by now,
there's a new episode coming out tomorrow, guys.
Tomorrow's new episode, so you haven't watched it. You're not going to watch it. The scene where the kid fell off the roof, where she was trying to catch him and she caught him and she's like, oh, I got you. And then she lost him. And because it was so angst of kid stuff and just silly. And And I guess, to be honest with you, that's the way it is because she's a teenager, right? How old is she? Like 15 or 16? She's
Yeah,
supposed
she's
to be.
in high school. I'm tired.
Yeah. So,
I
but if you think about yourself, Leia, Miss I Love Lightyear, think about when you were 15 or 16. If somebody give you a bracelet of power,
yeah.
the way she's acting is the way you'd be acting. I'm a
Yeah.
superhero. You'd have made yourself a whole costume.
Costume, practicing every day, calling up the Avengers. Where's Tony Stark's phone? Wait, he's dead. I don't care.
Okay.
Get his phone number.
So that part for me doesn't bother me because that's exactly what anyone of her
But
age
no,
would
the thing
do.
is, what bothers me is that I've seen it before, and I'm
It's Spider-Man.
tired, Dad. No,
It's
I'm
Spider-Man.
tired of this story. Even with Moon Knight. Moon Knight was a great show, but I'm just tired of like the power up, the suit up scenes. I'm like, okay, move on. Okay, like she's just give. I need a new story.
See, here's the thing though. This is an unknown to the general audience. This is an unknown character. Most people don't know who Miss Marvel is.
I guess so.
There's only a few people that know Miss Marvel, right? She's, you know,
Right.
she came out in 2015, I think. The comic book came out, something like that. It's a very new comic book compared to Captain
Right.
America from 1930.
Right.
Okay. So there's not a lot of people know who Mrs. Marvel is. So they've got to do the back end story. They've got to do the build. Not to mention they've changed her powers from the comic book because in the comic book her
So
powers is like
Fantastic Four.
like the Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic. So her power is different here, and you know they did that specifically because you can't have two people with that same power, right? They're about to bring in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but
So they have to do the build up. They have to do the thing where you know where your mom said it's like a Saturday morning show. Yeah, I would agree with that.
yeah, that's exactly how
It's
I would
almost
describe
like
it.
well, you don't know this, but there was a show. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there was a show called He's come on after school every day. What was the name of the show? With Zach and what was
You
the
laughing,
name?
Zach and Cody?
No, it
What?
was
I was like, I've seen that.
Mario Lopez was in the show.
Oh, Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah, I would see me like being excited as a teenager
Right.
watching it. Oh, Friday night. Oh, because
Yeah.
Sweet Life on Deck was my show back in the day.
Exactly.
Okay,
And
so this would have been my show.
This is in that same vein of a teenage show where you'd watch it. You know, unless something happens in tomorrow's episode that moves it forward, if it's still teenage, she's almost like the friendly neighborhood Miss Marvel, right?
Yeah.
So if it doesn't move past the high school stuff by tomorrow, yeah,
You
then
can't
you
be
just
out
tell
there.
me the rest of the. I'm not watching because you know we got to do it
Marvel.
for our show, but you know.
Mentally, you're out.
Yeah, I'm out. If they have till tomorrow to bring me in
Yeah.
to say, oh man, this is a good show. But
Because-
if it doesn't, then it's just for me Saturday morning TV show.
Because I'm wondering how many episodes of Miss Marvel, because I'm like get us going. It's 6 episodes. I'm so tired of these 6 episodes.
6 episodes. Yeah, I do want to talk about it later when we get into movie news about this 6 episode
episode
thing.
thing.
But we'll talk about that later. But I do want to
Okay.
get into that. Yeah, so for me, it's like, yeah, this is just,
It's fine. I understand now, like, I had to think about it. Like, as a Marvel fan, I've been watching a lot of Marvel stuff, so I'm just like over the superpower stuff or
Yeah.
like suit up, and I
Yeah.
just want to get to it.
Yeah.
But I understand for people that haven't seen this kind of stuff and just want to know the character. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
I don't.
I did like the fake love interest.
Yeah.
I'm liking that dynamic, and like what's gonna happen with the mom?
right.
The
No,
Yeah.
the suit up doesn't bother me, or the discovering your powers doesn't bother me. Actually, they needed to have that so we can see how she progressed. But it just needs to be a little more serious. Like there needs to be a crisis happening where she's suiting up to would lead to her doing something. There's no villain story happening. So there's not
Yeah.
another story happening at the same time to
That's
say eventually Miss Marvel has to go do something. And so if by episode 4 there's a villain, well, you didn't build this villain for me.
yeah, there's no
And the villain
yeah.
can't be the agency that's coming after her because that agency is not a villain agency.
Mhm.
That's the agency that regulates superpowers, right? Within
Right.
Marvel. They're not doing anything bad. They're the ones who arrested Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Right?
no, not Ant-Man. Spider-Man. Remember, that's the same guy from
Yes,
No Way Home.
exactly.
I
Same
love
agency
that.
though. Same
Yeah.
agency that did Spider-Man, Ant-Man. It's the same agency.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
they're not bad guys, right? So they're trying to catch her. She gets away. If that's going to be your antagonist for the rest of the season, the
That's
agency
boring.
trying to catch you and you're getting away,
It's our job.
that's a stupid. That's a stupid antagonist. You've got to introduce a villain by tomorrow. Like somebody got to be in some kind of a plot to do something. And now here's how your powers come into that.
Right.
Otherwise, this is a teenage afternoon show about growing pains. And if that's the case, man,
I'm tired.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Come on.
I agree. Let's see some rotten reviews, see what people are thinking. Oh, are we frozen? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so the critics are still high. It's still a 95 and an 83. It's still high up there. I mean, it is episode 2.
But see, that's episode 1 though. They haven't done episode 2 rating yet. This is from episode 1 still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So it'll be interesting to see how it does this week when it
episode
comes
3.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't have any critics rotten reviews yet, but we have some audience. Sadly, MCU is showing some awful signs of being owned by Disney. This show began as another high school drama made for teens, probably by teens, and it is not doing anything new. Many, many problems, starting with writing. Character, story, and events are all but cliched to death. I was always worried that MCU would become so popular that it would turn into an outlet for popular opinions and declination of quality. Declining. Yeah, declining quality.
You know, I would tell you that. I will tell you that. Yeah, I agree. With that.
It's giving Disney.
Like I said, this is Spider-Man, right? It's the Spider-Man storyline through and through, and I could predict this whole show right now. It's just, yeah.
She ends up with the fake love interest, but then the real love interest saves her.
Yeah.
Oh, you saved me, even though you're not a superhero. We fall in love, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. With 6 episodes of this, it's just, you can almost predict what's going to happen. So I'm okay. I don't disagree with the rating of this person. So
yeah, let's see what the fresh reviews have to say. Critics, it's not just we have this already. I already read this last week, but we'll read it again. Critics, it's not just Kamala's powers that make that make the future seem a little brighter. It's her smile. Let's see what the audience have to say. I don't understand all the haters who are calling this a kid show. Most Spider-Man stories start with him in high school, and no one calls that a kid show. This show is culturally diverse and has really cool cinematography. It incorporates technology in a clever, timeless way. I am really excited for the next episode. I think people complaining have qualms with other elements of the show they don't identify with. So they're trying to write it off as juvenile. Don't listen to the haters. Give it a chance. So,
okay, I know what this person is trying to say cryptically, right? So they're saying this is a Pakistani family, it's Pakistani culture. I love all that.
I honestly, before you get into it, I love the church scene.
Right.
It was so like the way that it was just so normal. They didn't do like, oh, we're Pakistani, so this is look at our church. It was just like a scene, and that is something that we need. You know what I mean?
You can tell the director and the writer are Pakistani because the director is Pakistani and the writer is, right? So I loved it too because it gave you a look inside of something that you never would see, which is inside of a mosque.
Yeah, and it was relatable too. Still, like,
but it's like how people are in a Christian church. Right. The kids in the back of the aisle, like, come on with this, right? They're ready to get out and go. I loved all of that because that is real life, right? They did that real life. You know, doesn't matter if you're Muslim, Christian, Jewish, whatever you are. If you're a kid, you're ready to go.
You're done.
It's church.
You're like, I'm tired.
I'm tired of all this. Can we wrap this up so we can go get out of here, right? So all that was relatable. All that made sense to me. I loved all that because that was real life. And to be honest with you, give me a peek into something I didn't know anything about.
Right.
Because I'm thinking, you think that it's rigid. It's everybody's doing the same thing and they have the same focus and there's no leeway for what's happening. But they showed there was leeway. She was talking to the imam, which is the same thing as a priest, and just talking to him like, hey, she's from the back, and the girl ran for office. It gave me a peek into things where it's like, well, I didn't know, this things could happen. So I love the show for what it has done from my understanding, which I don't have not to say the show's giving me a full understanding, but a better understanding how the Muslim culture would work within that context. All that's great. My problem with the show is everything besides that. Yeah. When you're dealing with the family stuff, I love the brother, right?
Oh, the brother's funny.
The brother's funny. When she fell down, he was like, something happened to you. He started to pray. Like, he's like, oh, there must be this thing. So all that's great. All that's great. But this show is not Sweet Life on Deck.
Yeah.
And all that stuff that's great is Sweet Life on Deck.
Yeah.
All that is Raven. All that is
that's a Raven. Like
Yeah.
if she didn't have superpowers, it would be the same
if
show.
she didn't have
like,
superpowers, you could have put this on Disney and it'd have been a great show to watch.
hey,
But she has superpowers.
I think that's, you know
Right?
what? Now I'm rating it in because now if I thought of it outside of Marvel, I would love this show.
You would
But if
love
it was,
this show.
But the fact that it's in Marvel, I'm like, okay, like give us a little bit more. But if it was on Disney, I'd be like, ooh, this is
Yeah,
like,
this
great.
would be a great Disney
Yeah.
show. To be honest with you, the way it's written,
Yeah.
you don't need the superpowers. This is like That's a Raven. She had superpowers.
She did.
She could see the future.
She did.
Right?
Yeah.
But that was a great show. So that's the thing with this show. It just the superpower part of it, which is a Marvel show, it's the same. It's you took Spider-Man and took Spider-Man's entire story.
Yeah.
He was bullied in school. She's bullied in school. He got these powers in high school. She got the powers in high
Yeah.
school. He's learning his powers. She's learning her powers.
Love
You
interest.
took
crazy.
Spider-Man and put it into this character.
Yeah.
So the only thing, the difference between her and Spider-Man is her powers.
Yeah.
Everything else is the same, except for the cultural differences, which is a great addition.
Addition. Definitely a great addition. If
Yeah.
it wasn't, I would be like, this show is
Yeah, if
definitely
it didn't have the Pakistani Muslim element of it, and it was just a regular, let's say, a white family, whatever, doing
white
this,
family.
I'd just be like, it's
show's
Spider-Man.
garbage. Like
I'm done with this show.
No.
But the Muslim part actually draws me in because I love learning stuff like that. I
Yeah.
like, I like history and all kind of stuff. So I was like, oh, this is cool to learn this. How else would I, right? So it's good to see that they use true representation and that's someone's thought of how something should be.
Right,
The director's actually Pakistani and they did it legit and made it feel right. And I'm glad Marvel did that.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Eh.
it's okay. you know?
So after thinking about it some more, what is your rating on this episode?
It's
Oh my
it's a
God.
6.
6. Yeah, I think 6 as
can't-
well.
It's a 6. I mean,
It's a 6.
I watched this episode and I was like, you got one more. You got
Fine.
one more show.
They got one more for real. I'm gonna keep watching it because of again the Pakistani element. But story wise, if they're not amping it up with a villain, then I'm out.
Right.
Are we getting any messages from the
from the
the
thing.
producer.
Yes. Anyway, on to the next thing.
Okay, on to the next thing. We are now talking about Obi-Wan episode 5. 5. Obi-Wan episode 5.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Obi-Wan, the Jedi Master, contends with the consequences of his great defeat, the downfall and corruption of his one-time friend and apprentice, Anakin Skywalker, who turned to the dark side as evil Sith Lord Darth Vader.
So
This
episode
episode's
5, I loved it.
Both of us. It was good.
I loved it. Okay. I watched it twice. Okay. I thoroughly
Yeah, I watched
enjoyed watching episode 5. There's some critical stuff about it I heard already, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the arc. There's something I did not enjoy about it. We'll talk here in a second. But overall, I loved it. I love everything she did with what's her name? Third sister. I love her arc, her turn and everything. The fight between her and Vader, epic.
The whole story was good. So in this episode, it's about Obi-Wan trying to get off of Tatooine, right?
No, they weren't on Tatooine.
Not yet. They're going to Tatooine.
They go to Tatooine, yeah.
So they're not there yet, but getting off some planet. And third sister is like, I tracked them, Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I know where they are.
Yeah, because he was like, I told you what would happen if you failed me.
She's like, please. I could have acted better. Let me do it. Please, Darth Vader. That was supposed to be my scene, but I let her have it.
Scene.
So they go to this planet, whatever. And before Darth Vader even gets there, I really like just seeing third sister, commanding the stormtroopers. It's really awesome to see. And then also the conversation that she has with Obi-Wan, I was there. Because he was like, he figured it out. He was like, how would you know it was Anakin? He would have kept that secret. And she was like, I was there. I was younger.
Right.
And so she decides to turn on Darth Vader. And while watching that scene, I immediately lost everything for her. I was like, no. I was like, you're so dumb to think that you could defeat Darth Vader. Do you know, when I was watching the scene, I was like, do you know who that is? It is
when
Darth
she
Vader.
when she striked her saber, She was like 2 steps away from him.
Yeah.
I'm like, you were supposed to get up on his back. I mean, if you found yourself could not be on his back, don't even do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't even do it.
Darth Vader. Do you know who that is?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. And so let's just talk about the fight scene then. The fight scene was awesome because he was just using the Force. He was like,
He was like, you're so insignificant to me. I'm not even gonna strike my lightsaber. If I strike my lightsaber, that's giving you credibility.
Yeah. I had to what? I had to take out my weapon? Nah, we're using your weapon.
That's giving you credibility.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take your weapon and use it against you.
Yeah.
The whole fight scene was awesome. I love the way it was choreographed. I love how it was done. I'm glad they made it that way because I didn't want it to be that she was going to give him some kind of a challenge because then you take it away from the power of Darth Vader.
Yeah, Darth Vader.
You know what I'm saying? This is the guy who could bring down a ship with his hand. You ain't just walk up on me with a lightsaber.
Yeah, and I love how he slowed down her weapon.
Yeah.
Her lightsaber and then like split it in half. I thought he was gonna Count Dooku her.
Yeah.
I was like, Count Dooku her.
At that point, you stupid man. At that point, he was like, you know what? I got time.
Yeah.
I can play with you a little more. Here's the other half. Pick it up. Come on.
Pick it up.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come get you some.
And I really liked how he did that.
Yeah.
I loved that whole scene. And then even before that, where he did stop the ship, that shook me. I was like,
Yeah, that was cool.
Darth Vader. I love when they use the Force because I'm like, y'all don't use the Force enough.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the Force, like bring somebody down, you know?
Yeah.
So he brought that ship down. He ripped it open with a rage. But Obi-Wan, always thinking 2 steps ahead, had a second ship for them.
Yeah, they were setting that up with all the flashback scenes.
Yeah, the flashback scenes were cool too.
Yeah.
You said you wanted it to be de-aged.
Yeah, I think they should have de-aged Hayden Christensen a little bit. He looked older, right? And he's at this point, he's supposed to be about 20. Yeah. Right? Because this is before episode 2.
Yeah.
When you look at his face, I'm like, yo,
you're 40 now.
You look 40. You know what I'm saying? So come on, Star Wars. You guys got the technology. You could have de-aged him. It wouldn't have cost you much. You already got the guy from YouTube. You could have just, it's a nitpick, but I still think you should have just de-aged him. It didn't take me out of the show, but you know.
But yeah. I liked how they added that in. So now for the people that are like, oh, where's Hayden? There's your Hayden. Can you stop complaining so we can get a season 2? Thank you. Because tomorrow's the season finale.
Yeah, tomorrow's season. I'm hoping it's not 36 minutes.
They've been long recently, right?
No, the last 2 were 36 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So it felt long because the story just moved. But I just hope tomorrow they give us a good hour to wrap it up. And I hope, because the girl is still alive, third sister is still alive, which I don't know why.
No, they explained, someone explained why. Because you know how Darth Vader is still alive?
Yeah.
It's because of the armor that they wear. That protects them or whatever.
No, I understand that. That doesn't bother me. What I'm concerned about, 2 things with that scene bother me is 1, why would you leave her alive? You said, the Inquisitor said, look, revenge is a great motivator to keep you alive. Well, what do you think? She's just not going to take revenge? Now, you could say Darth Vader's like, I don't care. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to come.
Yeah.
Right? But why would you do that? Okay, that's one thing I didn't like. Second thing I don't like is she found a little thing there for Obi-Wan, right? She found the message. So she knows what Luke is.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I'm hearing theories that, she's going to turn good and try to help Luke. Please don't do that. Please don't. They did it with Kylo Ren. Please do not make her good.
If they make her good, it makes the show bad.
It just makes the show bad.
When I'm rewatching it, but you just end up being dude, don't make her good.
Please don't make her good. I don't know why Star Wars feels that they have to redeem the bad characters. You don't have to redeem them.
The only character that was able to be redeemed is Darth Vader when they did at the end when he passed away. Done.
Done.
But when they do that with these other characters, I'm like, you didn't earn it. And she's just as a good character, please.
She's a great character. I think you do the character a disservice by making her now nice and I'm here to save. No, when you were talking to Obi-Wan through the door, I love that scene too.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan's like, let me help you with this.
Yeah.
And she says, you don't understand the things I've done to get here.
Yeah.
I don't need your help. And she strike the lightsaber through the door. She said, I don't need you, bruh. I got this. That's why I want to see
my scene.
Savage. I don't want you to see you come to the end now in episode 6 tomorrow. And I hope they don't do this. And it's, oh, I'm here to help the chosen one, blah, blah. If they do that, you lost me. You lost me.
You lost me for real.
You
She's
lost
a really
me.
great character.
Keep her who she is. I'm here to kill Vader. I don't care about nobody.
Yeah.
Period.
So hopefully it's like that.
Hopefully.
Let's see some other reviews from this week. Let's see. So this is the reviews now. Okay. It's raised up a little bit. It was 50. It was like in the 50s last week. Now the audience review is in the 60s.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
We'll take it.
Rotten reviews from the audience. Very, very poorly written and boring with all the issues already stated by others. From episode 5, I also noticed that Disney thinks the Force is like a power bar that you have to recharge before using it again.
Yeah.
Like the fire scene.
Yeah, it talks about
like
that.
the fire scene would stop Vader from bringing the other ship down.
Yeah.
But after the decoy, this show, among lots of other things, lack common sense. I also thought about that too. I was like, why didn't you just bring on the other one?
Yeah, Well, I will tell you this. I said the same thing with the fire, right? Where just a minute ago you blew out the fire. This is episode 3, I think it is.
3, something like that.
And then right after that, you couldn't stop the fire again.
Right.
That makes no sense. See, they are right in their statement. They're making it seem like when you use the Force, you have to recharge.
Isn't it though? Because
I don't know.
Because
no one's ever explained the Force before.
Grogu does that too. So maybe it's like, yes, Grogu can only move like a little tiny thing, and then it gets tired. But maybe as you get more powerful, bigger things make you more tired.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's the only way I could explain it, but no one's ever explained that to me before. So the person is right. When you create magic, in a movie, you have to lay out the rules of how your magic works. Yeah. Because now you're leaving it to me. Well, you're leaving it to me to fill in the blanks. Well, every time I've seen a Star Wars show, you've never said that or shown me that once I've used it, I can't use it again.
Right.
So it's jarring to see something happen 1 second, the next second something happens and you can't use it. Like when the ship took off, you grabbed it the first time. When you ripped open and the second ship took off, why couldn't you grab the second one?
It would have been really cool if he grabbed it, but then like it just like, I don't know, hyper speed away or like something like I had a powerful jet and then he couldn't do it or something. Right. Or couldn't do it.
So that's why I understand that person's thought. There is inconsistencies like that, but to be honest with you, every Star Wars show's like that. I mean, they don't ever explain the Force. Like the thing with mind reading, well, that's new. That ain't happened till
episode 2?
No.
Mind reading.
Yeah, when he could read your mind.
Episode 7.
Yeah, that's all new, right? They never showed that before.
Yeah.
So the Force is ever evolving in Star Wars shows. So it doesn't bother me when they change the Force because they never told us the limitations of the Force. Yeah. They didn't say, hey, it starts here and ends here, right? So we can't assume to know all about the Force because when you're introduced in Star Wars, there's only one other Force user. That was Luke. So,
true.
Right? So, yeah, that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me either. The show itself is just good. So let's get into some.
Well, the show is up and down.
Fresh.
The show is up and down.
I like the show.
All of it?
I like all of it.
I think 4.
Nobody likes Leia. I like Leia.
Ugh.
I love her character.
I hope it's over with Leia right now. I'm done with it.
No, she was good. It didn't have a lot. She didn't do. Wait.
I'm glad they stuck her.
Used a lot
I'm glad they stuck her in the air vent
to
fix the little wires because they had to get her out of the way.
She was good. Anyways, fresh reviews from the critics.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't this is not fixed. Sorry. From the audience. Brilliant Star Wars romp. Audience love this one so much. It is filled with feels and amazing dramatic moments for Star Wars. Although we know what happens to Obi-Wan, this show has enough twists and turns to keep you involved in watching. I think so too.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad show.
I don't know, Dad.
I'm not saying it's a bad show. I'm just saying there's a couple of episodes that are miss. I think 2 and 4 are misses. I think 1, 3, and 5 on point.
I can't remember 4 anyways. So yeah.
See,
maybe you're right. Okay. Oops. Okay, so now we're going into we don't have any theories or questions this time, but
we didn't give our review on episode 5.
Oh, sorry. Review for episode 5.
I give it a 9.
I give it it's because of the ending scene. I'll give it an 8.5.
I give it a 9. 8.5. I watched it twice, so you made me watch it twice.
You're good. You're in.
You're good.
I'm excited for episode 4. Oops, sorry. Okay, so now we're getting into some movie news. Before we get into movie news, please make sure to subscribe and like this episode so it can get boosted to other people. And you can leave your theories and questions in the comment section below, or follow us on Twitter and leave it on there.
Yep.
Okay, so Harry Styles, before we even read this, Harry Styles is trying to be an actor now.
Yeah.
He's trying to be actor because he's also in a movie that's coming out with Florence Pugh. He's like the main actor. Do you remember seeing the trailer?
Mm-mm.
Now you don't remember?
Nope.
Okay, so it seems like he's the main guy. It's gonna be a Prime Video. Harry Styles My Policeman drops teaser trailer. Amazon Studios on Wednesday released a teaser trailer for its Harry Styles starring film, My Policeman. The romantic drama explores themes of forbidden love and shifting social conventions, with the English pop star taking on the role of Tom Burgess, a policeman in 1950s Brighton who marries schoolteacher Marion, who, while engaging in a gay relationship with museum creator Patrick. The film is directed by Michael Grange, and written by Ron Swayer, based on the book from Bethan Roberts. It cast also includes David Dwanson and Rupert Everett as younger and older Patrick and Emma Corrin, and Gina McKee as younger and older Marion. Very interesting. I have never heard of My Policeman. I don't know anything about this. This is a movie that I might have to check out, but romance movies, I give it a shrug of the shoulder.
You tell me, if you tell me it's a great story,
I'll watch it. But the thing is, I might watch it just because of TikToks, because everyone loves Harry Styles to the ends of the earth. Like, Dad, you don't understand. Harry Styles fans are like crazy.
Hardcore.
Like, scary. So I already know there's going to be a ton of TikToks about it. But it's going to be interesting to see him as the main character. I think this is going to be his first movie where he's the main actor. Because in the Florence Pugh movie, I think he's the supporting actor. Mm-hmm. And then Florence Pugh she's the main actress.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see what he does in this.
Yeah.
So, I'll have to keep that on our radar.
Keep an eye out for it.
All right, Melissa McCarthy, Hugh Grant among A-list cast for Jerry Seinfeld's Unfrosted, the Pop-Tart story. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. I don't even
Listen,
want to read
man,
it.
I saw this title the other day. I didn't even read the paragraph. I was like, come on. The Pop-Tart story.
All right.
Go ahead,
Let's read it. Jerry Seinfeld has assembled an A-list cast for his directorial. So this is his first movie.
This is debut?
Okay? Which just so happens to be about the beloved breakfast dessert pastry Pop-Tarts. Netflix is behind Unfrosted, the Pop-Tart story, which will star Melissa McCarthy, Jim Gaffigan, Amy Schumer, Hugh Grant, and James Marsden. Rounding out the cast is Jack McBrayer, Tom Lennon, Adrian Martinez, Bobby Moynihan, Max Greenfield, Kristen Slater, and Sarah Cooper. Seinfeld, who worked with the streamer on his 2020 stand-up special, 23 Hours to Kill, will also be starring in the film. Guys, what is this?
It's an all-star lineup of comedy, though. It's a lot of comedians in this. So obviously it's going to be a comedy. I was thinking there was going to be a movie about how the Pop-Tart was created, and probably it will be. I'm assuming that's what it is about.
But who is so interested in Pop-Tarts that they're like, let's make a movie?
Jerry Seinfeld is a comedic genius, man. So who knows? Maybe he found a good story to tell about Pop-Tarts.
I'm so shook right now.
It's on Netflix, right?
It's going to be on Netflix.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
don't
like
have to spend any money, so I'll give it a whirl. You got 15 minutes of my time. You got 15 minutes to ring me in.
You have to give it 30 because that's usually when the big event happens. Okay, graduated with a media arts degree. Okay. Do you have any other news? Okay, so Loki has finally premiered or has talked about that they're getting a season 2, which when I first heard about that, I was shook. I was like, they're actually getting a season 2. Like, I didn't think Marvel was going to do season 2 for their shows.
Yeah.
So here we go. Loki, the man who fell to Earth and winning time, cinematographers on playing with light and color. Okay. So Loki season 2 has started production. No date for the premiere yet. There's speculation that the new season will premiere after the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium, since the finale of the first season introduced Kang the Conqueror, and Kang is the main villain in Ant-Man 3. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, and Tom Hiddleston, Owen Wilson, and Gu McBathra are confirmed to be returning. So far, Loki is the only Disney Plus series getting a season 2.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
So it says what? It will premiere after. So that's 2023.
2023, yeah. There's I think it just started production this month.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be 2023 then when it comes out. And it makes sense if it comes in after Ant-Man because Kang the Conqueror. So we'll see.
So what I've heard so far is that it'll be kind of restarting, which I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like it'll be kind of be restarting because he's in a new multiverse.
Yeah, he has
Because
Kang is in charge
Owen
now.
Wilson character and B Hunter, whatever, they don't know him.
They'll be different.
So I hope they don't do like a whole restart where like, okay, you're in jail again. We're doing
Yeah, I hope they don't do that again too. I agree. I don't want to see him getting. And if they do that, make it just one episode. Don't go through the whole season like that again because that's just gonna be annoying.
I see the thing is here too. I don't know if Sylvia's coming back, which I don't care for. Sorry, I don't like her character.
We'll see.
But I wonder if she's gonna come back, what her deal is, because she killed King the Conqueror. So it's interesting. I don't know enough information about this guy, so you'll have to put it down.
Yeah, there's no plots. I know when I was reading through this, there's no plot yet. So I think it's good movie news because it's the only Marvel Disney Plus show that has a season 2.
Yeah,
no other one has been greenlit for a season 2. We know that Moonlight was a one shot. That's what their deal was, a one shot.
Oh, it's probably gonna get a season 2. How are you gonna do Jake Lockley and not give us the rest of the story?
Yeah, I agree. They could do it, but the deal was only for one. Now, of course, all deals can be redone. But yeah, it's only for season 1. But this one's 2, so that's good. I mean, what's his name? Tom Hiddleston. He loves playing Loki.
He's like, I could do this until I die. I'm like, oh my gosh, Tom. Like, okay.
So Tom will come back 3, 4, 5, whatever you want. He'll keep doing it.
He'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
I just wonder, because the thing is, Tom Hiddleston's not done with the character and Chris Hemsworth's not done with the character. Just have them, before they both retire, just have them meet one more time.
Oh, that's guaranteed.
Please. They're the only ones left.
That's guaranteed. The next, what's his name? Who's playing Thor? What's his name?
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth. He's already signed up for like 3 movies.
See? Like, please.
So
That's crazy.
There's no doubt that they will come back.
I'm so excited. I need it. Thor Ragnarok was such a good movie.
It was.
And like their whole character, that's why I'm sad about a little bit about Loki when it first started, because it was 2012 Loki for this show. I'm like, I want 2017 Loki. I want Thor Ragnarok because his arc.
Yeah,
it's fine.
He'll be back.
So that's it for movie news. Do you have any other news or anything like that?
No, nothing big going on right now. That's it. That's all.
Before we end it off, I will be teasing. Let's tease that we will be doing a discussion about Ezra Miller. We're not going to do it right now about them, but we will be doing. We gotta.
I think we got to do a 15-minute on that. A video, just
like
Ezra Miller
video.
Thoughts. What our thoughts on the whole situation is, because that situation is crazy.
Yeah, we'll do a separate video or something
we'll do
like
some
that.
video on that.
All right. Let's go back to this. I just want to say, our upcoming movies. We will be watching Elvis. So that'll be our next review this Saturday, June 25th at 4 p.m. We'll be doing a Elvis review. And then the next week will be Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Which is like, we have so much Marvel content, you know? So that's super fun. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share, like, and leave a comment like usual.
Yes, guys. We appreciate you guys coming and stick with us. We're only going to get better. See you guys next time.
All right. See y'all next time. Bye.